After 3 seasons at Texas Tech in women's tennis, Cristina Tiglea, Tiglea, I apologize if I butchered that, with a UTR of 10.48, is transferring and has signed for Baylor for the fall of 2024. She played at #1 singles and #2 doubles this past year with overall records of 50 and 30 in singles and 62 and 36 in doubles. So she's really good in doubles. In singles, she has improved. And I'll explain why, and I'll go through her career. ITA high ranks of number 39 in singles and number 24 in doubles. I actually remember her playing against Baylor in Waco in 2022. And yes, I know Texas Tech women's tennis that match was like 7-0, but that was 7-5 in the first set. She lost, but the second set not even close against Paul Balignano and everything. So as a true freshman in singles, she really was at the 6th spot, and she was like 7-5 there. In doubles, she was mostly number 2, 8, and 7, but she played at #1, but was 0-3. In 2023, in singles, she only played like 1 completed match at #2. She was like 1-0, but the other matches were 3-4, 5-4, and 4-4, respectively at 3 and 4 positions. But this past year, she was on #1. She was 13-6 in dual matches, and thus she has progressed and improved in her career from like starting at #6 as a true freshman to be a 1. That's something. That is something right there. I mean, and in doubles, she was at 18-6. So she is a solid pickup for Baylor women's tennis. There's no shadow of a doubt. And I would think she would be the 1 and get Nana Casado kind of get ready for the following year, assuming she does stay after 1 season. But you get the whole point. You needed somebody to help your losing Mishka to graduation, and Isabella Harrison to graduation as well. So you lost 2 out of 3 in singles. You just added 2 players that are top 3 good in terms of UTR, and Cristina Tiglea and Kenny Gibbs from Purdue last week. Though I think Kenny Gibbs will be more of a 3. And Luba Koskenko, I think she's going to be more of a 4 now, though she could move up to the 3 spot if she does improve, which wouldn't be a bad problem by any stretch right there, because that would mean she would have grown. And I know we did lose Daniela Dimitrov at Duntumova, but let's be clear, she was not that much in terms of stats this past year. I know the year before she was, but she was not the best. And she was outside looking in on the singles lineup, let alone doubles lineup this year with these 2 freshmen, and Zuzana Kubaka and Zuzana Frankowska. And it's not including Danny T improving as well, and there's Sierra Berry. So those 4 players that I just mentioned, they're competing for 5 and 6, in my humble opinion. And granted, I know Luba and Sierra will be juniors next year, as well as Brooke. But Brooke is going to not play a lot, I would think. Sierra, probably more of a doubles person at worst. And Luba is definitely both, I would think. I would think so. So you would have a little bit more seniors, like 4 of them here. But it is what it is. You got to improve this roster from last year, because remember, this is Joe Scafano's first time not making past the first round of the NCAA tournament since his first year at Baylor, which has been a long time. And thus, he added through the transfer portal twice. And I know they do have Nana Casado. That's a freshman coming in. UTR 10.28. She will be definitely in a singles lineup and doubles lineup, I would think. But this makes me feel a lot better about the top 3 in singles now. I really do, with this addition here today and Kenny Gibbs more recently, and as well as that true freshman. in particular like the top four, and then you have good competition in 5 and 6, and that's not a bad problem to have. Now, they either have 0 scholarships remaining if that one player that's a verbal does sign, or if that verbal doesn't sign, they do have 1 spot left. And I don't know exactly how good the verbal is. I really don't know. But either way, you gotta feel better about this roster, especially when you know you lost Mishka Kalikova, and Isabella Harrison, when they're their top 2 and 3 in singles next year. And I don't know how good Oklahoma State will be next year because they lose half their singles and doubles lineup. And we know with Arizona coming in, they just barely made the NCAA tournament this year. So hopefully we do more than just barely make it. And Texas Tech, I think, is going to take somewhat of a step back because of this addition. Losing a court 1 as well as some other seniors. And hopefully we beat BYU next. Baylor beats BYU next year. As well as beat all the other teams that we beat. And especially beat TCU, who did not even make the postseason here. And we got beat bad, 4-0. So hopefully that does change. I just don't know about Oklahoma State at this present moment in time. And I know Arizona State's dealing with a head coaching change. First time in a long time. Because the head coach just retired after 40 years. So, yeah. Colorado is more like a top 90 program, so I wouldn't think they would be threatening us. Baylor by any stretch of the imagination. And Utah is like a top 50, top 55 team. But still, you get the whole point. I just don't know how good this conference is going to be next year. So maybe we could make that push to be a top 16 seed again. Possibly. If not, definitely improve from around the 64 from a year ago to around the 32, which I know the hope is to do more. Like a Sweet 16, Elite 8, but I don't know about Elite 8. That is unrealistic. So that's why I would say hold the brakes, go for Sweet 16, especially when you're hosting the NCAA tournament from Elite 8 onwards, but I don't know how realistic it is to go Elite 8 next year and get the chance to play potentially all the NCAA tournament matches at home. That's the thing. I don't really know, but they're going to have to do a lot of work, obviously. And not only that, the Big 12 is more gettable now with Texas and Oklahoma gone, especially that Texas is gone. Oklahoma, they're more like the last few years that they've been good, not like historically. And Texas is just coming on since 2018 onward, especially with back-to-back national titles. And I know they took a step back from Elite 8 to Sweet 16 this year. But you get the whole point. They're one of the top teams in the conference. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what happens from here. Whether or not that verbal commit signs, we'll just see on that. But if nothing else, they will add somebody from the transfer portal, I would think. So, anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys later on the road to 700 subscribers. Of course, the ultimate goal is 1,000 or more. So many money out there. Of course, liking the video, comment the video, really helps YouTube algorithms so more people can see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button, free notification bell as well. And if for some reason the verbal commit coming in does sign and she's better than Cristina Tiglea, she could be the one. If not, and possibly the verbal commits could be somewhere in the singles lineup, like a 4 or 5 and 6, or 2 through 6. But any position in the lineup is, and of course, I'm possibly good enough to be on doubles. I don't know. We'll wait and see.